Right now it's been about 5 minutes, and you can see right now how it's starting to separate. We got the Ormus on the bottom, and we got the water at the top right here. See, this was a really good bunch of Ormus because we did this around the full moon. But you can see the Ormus on the bottom and the water is on the top, you see. Now what's going to happen is this will sit overnight, it'll become more compressed, and then we'll rinse it a couple more times, and then we have a really nice batch of Ormus. So this batch come out looking really, really good. It's amazing stuff, and it's incredible stuff. So basically the reason we got a good batch on this one was because we purified the water by using coffee filters. We used the Celtic sea salt, and we filtered the Celtic sea salt through about 7 filters, about 7 times. But we used a sieve first, ran it through the sieve first to get all the impurities out, then through the coffee filter. And then by purifying this Celtic sea salt as much as possible, we ended up with a lot of Ormus. A lot. And you can see right there it's starting to separate. And all we need to do is rinse it a couple times and we're ready to go. So that's it. This was made around the full moon. We did get a lot of Ormus on this batch. Anyway, I'll go ahead and see if you guys can see this a little bit more clear. Well, this is it. It's kind of like a spiderweb cloud type formation. It's kind of like a heavenly cloud. It's pretty amazing stuff. But after we rinse it out, we'll bottle it in a glass jar, wrap it up in aluminum foil, and then we'll have us a nice batch of Ormus. This will last about 4 weeks. Ormus lasts between 4 and 8 weeks, so we make it about every couple months or a month or so, and then we get a nice fresh batch. But anyway, thank you for watching. Wish you all a wonderful day and have a great week. It's currently Friday. It's May 16th, 2014. Have a great weekend. Bye. Anyway, I've let the Ormus sit now for about 7 hours, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's settled down right here, down to the very bottom. So we have a very, very fine layer of Ormus at the bottom. And if you take a close look, it's settled down pretty nicely. We're about to go ahead and rinse it with crystal geyser spring water. It's pure, nice, clean water. And we're going to go ahead and start the first rinse. First rinse of 3 rinses. So if you guys can see that, but on the bottom right there is Ormus. And we got a pretty good amount of Ormus made here, and this is a pretty decent amount. And so basically what we're going to do now is go ahead and give it a rinse, and then tomorrow afternoon give it another rinse. So I'll give it about 8 hours time between rinses. Sometimes I'll wait as long as 24 hours depending. But yeah, we've got a good batch of Ormus here, and so this is what it looks like when it's settled down, right when we're about to go ahead and give it a rinse. So it's pretty fascinating. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Anyway, this is the first rinse, and I've just pretty much drained the container. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but that white milky liquid, that really white creamy looking liquid, that's Ormus. And basically I've emptied out the container now. It's almost completely empty. The only thing that's remaining in there is the Ormus. I'm about to go ahead and rinse it. But yeah, you see that white substance there? That's all Ormus. So let's go ahead and start rinsing it out. It's hard to do this with one hand. There we go. Okay, now as I stated earlier, I'm using crystal geyser spring water because it's nice and clean, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here. I filled up to about half a gallon, which is the original amount that we made the Ormus with. Okay. Now with a clean fork, make sure the fork is clean. Let me go ahead and make sure it's very clean. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix the batch up right here. It's pretty simple. You just circulate it around. What's happening right now is the Ormus is mixing with the new spring water. And by doing this, we're rinsing out the precipitate, or however you say it. And I do this probably about 2 or 3 times, just to make sure the spring water is fully rinsed, fully through there. And that's basically how you rinse out the Ormus. We'll let it soak again for overnight, and then tomorrow afternoon we'll go ahead and give it another rinse again. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. This is a short video on mistakes to avoid when you're making your own Ormus. One is basically Celtic sea salt, which is used for making Ormus. Quite simply, one of the biggest mistakes some people make is not by filtering the Celtic sea salt. Usually use coffee filters, put the sea salt in there, and then you run water through the coffee filter, and then it comes down and it basically filters out the impurities in the sea salt. Now if you don't filter out the sea salt, this is what the water looks like. See if I can get a closer view right there. You can see you do have Ormus on the bottom, but you also have some of the impurities of the Celtic sea salt. So that's one thing to avoid, is to make sure, if you want to get some of the best quality Ormus, is quite simply to use coffee filter, put the sea salt in there, and then you run the spring water through the coffee filter, and that would drip down into here, giving you basically nice clear water free of the impurities of the Celtic sea salt. Another common mistake that happens is the pH meter. It can be very easy sometimes, in all the excitement when the Ormus comes through, to leave the pH meter on accidentally. And that's common. That's a common mistake. But the thing is, when you leave the batteries of the pH meter on, these batteries cost about $15 for 3 of them. So it's important that once the Ormus is made, to turn the pH meter off. And it's also important too to use the proper pH calibrator fluid. I use a pH 7. I got this from a agriculture store. Some of the hydroponic stores will sell pH calibration fluid. And then all you do is you basically use a screwdriver. On the back there's a screw right here. And then after you put the calibration fluid into a cup, you basically pour it in there undiluted. With this one you can use undiluted. You pour it in the cup, get the calibrate pH meter in there. Once that's done, you use your screwdriver, you calibrate it to 7 pH, then you have a fully calibrated pH meter. The pH meter is input in the water until you get the proper pH number for the Ormus, which is usually around 10.5, 10.3. And so that's basically a couple important expensive mistakes to avoid. One batch of Celtic sea salt cost me about $4. So that's for half a gallon of water. So basically, if you screw it up, you'd be basically about $4 behind for the Celtic sea salt. If you leave your pH meter on, you're about $15 out in batteries. So it's about a $20 mistake if you make these common errors. So basically, it's a couple mistakes to avoid when you make your own Ormus. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Okay, this is after we've rinsed it and bottled the Ormus. Basically, I just used a funnel, and I poured the rinsed Ormus into the funnel and basically put it down into this bottle. This is 3 days later, after the Ormus has been settled down. And you can see all this here is all the Ormus that we extracted. And this is the water. So you can see we had a pretty good harvest of this Ormus. This is after 3 rinses. And after that, I then put it into a small dropper bottle. And quite simply what I do is when I want to take some Ormus, I just take it out of the dropper bottle, put it in some yogurt or mix it in some water. I usually do between 3 and 5 drops at a time. You don't need any more than 5 drops because this stuff is so potent and so powerful that less is actually more. So basically out of a half gallon of water, let's estimate how many ounces we got. So I already have 1 ounce here, and this bottle here is probably about, I would say about 3 to 4 ounces. So out of half a gallon of spring water and Celtic sea salt that was properly drained and prepared, we got about 5 or 6 ounces of Ormus. And when it settles down like this is normal. That's the way it should look. As you can see like that, it's like a slow cloud. As I slowly move the camera around, you can see how it slowly moves around. It's kind of like a thick milky liquid. And so that's all Ormus on the very bottom. Now another very important thing is once you have the Ormus all done, wrap it up in aluminum foil. This is what I do because Ormus is sensitive to electromagnetic fields. So what I'll do is I'll basically just get the 1 ounce bottle, just simply wrap it up in foil and store it like that. And then the same for the large bottle right here. When I'm storing the Ormus, I'll end up wrapping it up in aluminum foil, securing it like this, and basically just making sure that it's all properly wrapped up. Because for some reason, I'm doing this with one hand because I'm holding the camera, but you get the idea. For some reason, the Ormus appears to be very sensitive to electromagnetic fields. And so that's why when you store it, it should be wrapped up in aluminum foil. So yeah, we got a pretty good bunch of Ormus right here. And if I shake it up a little bit, as you can see, it'll go all cloudy. And then once again, in a couple hours, this will settle back down again. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the Ormus making from beginning to end. And out of this batch, from my experiences, I took a little bit of Ormus last night. This was so fresh. Once again, I had very vivid dreams, very relaxed. All positive benefits from taking the Ormus last night. I woke up feeling really, really good this morning. And I took it with the overnight rejuvenation capsules, and it was absolutely amazing. So that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and good luck on your Ormus making activities.